Hey everyone, and welcome to a unit review of Iago, Nohr's Tactician. He's a Grand Hero Battle unit following the Journey Begins Fate's banner. He's pretty interesting with the skills. Anyways, this video will take a look at his stats with a comparison, skill synergy, some allies and counters, build ideas, and answer should you invest your heroic grails into Iago. Let's start.
So simple.
Iago is a red tome infantry unit with a stat line of, well, he's not that original. Iago has high HP, great attack, not that great speed, poor defense, and of course, good res. Awfully similar to units like Arvis, Julius, etc. Moving on from them, Iago does have good stats. That 38 attack is great, especially since he has a personal tome which gives him 14 might. Not to mention that it gives him an extra +3 res, pushing it to a great 35 res. His HP is the second highest of all red tome infantry units, which is beneficial for skill synergy. And his attack is 4th highest with Hubert, Azithia, and Kidia being ahead. So despite having a common stat spread, Iago stands out fairly well. And he's going to stand out even more with his personal tome. But before that, let's do a comparison with another red tome infantry unit, Julius. Both of these units are from Grand Hero Battle units, so it's rather fair. Well, not really, Iago has way more BST. Julius has 3 less attack than Iago, but he has 3 more points of res. It does look like Iago is a superior character of these slow, high-res tome units, but I don't think he completely outclasses Julius. Iago is a support unit, Julius is more of an offensive unit. Julius lopped this tome and inflicts attack -6 on foes who don't have dragon effectiveness, making it easier for him to take hits and initiate combat. Iago, however, needs his HP to be high to make the most of his support abilities. He's not someone who should be in the front lines taking hits. He's better off picking the scraps. These two, despite having the same archetype, have different-ish roles. Now, I've talked about Iago's support abilities, so let's actually see it. It all comes from his tome, and that's what makes him unique. Iago's tome is a 14 might book that gives him res +3. It has 2 different effects on odd and even number turns, but both depend on his HP. On odd number turns, if any foe's HP is less than or equal to Iago's HP -3, so 39, and they're not adjacent to another foe, they'll get -4 attack and speed and a guard status. If you didn't know, guard goes against the special cooldown. Every time you attack or get attacked, your special cooldown goes down by 1. Guard would add 1, so the net change is 0. Of course, it can be bypassed with something like Heavy Blade, Steady Breath, Bolt Fighter. In those cases, the special cooldown goes down by 2, guard adds 1, and the net change is 1. It has good benefits, especially against armor units with their cool fighter skills. On even number turns, it still has the same HP condition, except this time, the foe has to be adjacent to another foe to get hit with -4 defense and res, and the panic status. Panic reverses any visible stat buff, like if a unit has a +4 attack buff from honed attack, panic status will reverse that to a -4 attack penalty. There are many units that either use visible stat buffs to their advantage or give those stat buffs, in which case, panic is very useful. But I'm gonna be honest here, -4 is not super detrimental. Those status effects might be a nuisance, but that's pretty much what Iago is, a nuisance. His niche, his role as a support unit is to stay back, have high HP, and debuff and annoy. It forces the foe to read and think about the final positions before the phase change, to think about the HP comparisons, and what number turn will it be next to avoid his debuffs. To add on to that, Iago has good stats. Sure, his speed and defense are laughable, but that res and attack aren't. He can take a good magical hit with his high HP and deal good damage with a high attack. Thus, he becomes more annoying because he's not making it easy to take him down. But of course, Iago should not be on the front lines, he needs to preserve his HP in order to keep debuffing. His other skills are pretty nice. Blazing Wind works well with his high attack, HP attack 2, while simple, buffs his greatest strengths. With this skill, he'll have 46 HP and his tome will use 43 for the comparison. Not too many units have HP higher than 43. And his attack will be pushed to a base 40 attack, which is pretty nice. Not many magic units have that same power. Attack opening is a very helpful support skill, +6 attack is very nice, and if there are several allies that have the same attack stat, then they'll all get +6 attack buff. It's a universal skill, so it doesn't have conditions like Hone or Tactic where Iago needs to be close. This way he can stay behind and throw out debuffs. So Iago is fairly simple. Well, for the side that's using him. Keep him safe, keep him at high HP, and you're fine. For the side that doesn't have him, Get ready to think about where you put your units, what turn it is, and can you get rid of him before he starts messing things up. Those debuffs, especially the Guard and Panic, can cost you your units. Now for allies, Iago is going to excel at AR defense since you can just trap him and let him do his dark magic stuff. So things that deal damage to your foes like the Bolt Trap or Bolt Tower are going to be pretty useful. Characters like Duma can deal widespread damage, which increases Iago's chances of sending his debuffs. Savage Blow and Pain users are also a part of this. Units with high attack and high defense are great with Iago. He can give them the attack opening buff and they can take the physical hits that he can't. For counters, healers are not helpful when they're on the other side. Iago wants his foes to have less HP, and the healers aren't helping. Though, if the foe's HP cap isn't above 43 or 39, then all is good. Physical units, especially blue units, destroy Iago with his disappointing 23 defense. And units with widespread damage can work against Iago as well. First build, Death to Hoshido. This set kinda goes against what I said earlier, how Iago should stay behind, but if the situation demands it, Iago should be prepared to deliver the final blow. It's relatively cheap and simple as it takes advantage of its high attack with double death blow. Add that with chill res, he can hit hard and support his allies. If you're willing to invest a bit more, there's Mirror Impact or Death Blow 4 as an option. Second build focuses more on increasing his HP to debuff even more foes. Like I said before, leave him in the back. If he needs to take a hit, his higher HP will back him up. It's a very simple plan and it fits a Tactician to stay behind. He can also run Reciprocal Aid to help his allies and just heal back up with Renewal. You don't have to run an HP increasing skill, but it's the concept that matters. Third build, chill skills are great for Iago since they don't require him getting near anyone that would damage him. With distant defense and quick repos, it makes it tougher to get rid of him using a ranged unit. And if this is Ether Raids, you can surround him with buildings and the foe either has to break it or attack with a ranged unit. Like I've said before, he's got a simple game plan and it works pretty well. So, should you invest your heroic grails into Iago? On the yes side, he's got high HP, attack, and res. He's got attack opening to fodder and a unique support tome that punishes both solo and bond characters. And if anything, it makes your opponent read his very long tome description, which really no one wants to do. On the no side, he has low speed and defense. The stat debuffs are only -4. He's very dependent on HP, which can be destroyed pretty fast with Pain, Savage Blow, etc. And perhaps you've already invested into another Red Tome infantry unit, or you just don't want to support Red Tome units. You can build them as a more offensive unit, but Lysithea or Orchidia would do much better. For a final verdict, I would say no. His tome is going to be useful in either raids. However, there are just better heroic grail units, and his HP condition can easily be destroyed, though he does have attack opening for fodder. Thanks for watching! Hey, did you know that Dragalia lost in a puppy event? Dude, I love this dog so much. And Dragalia is going to have another Fire Emblem Heroes crossover event, which I'm probably going to do a video on. So, like, play Dragalia Lost, and subscribe, leave a like. Thank you. Follow me on Twitter at exalt_ty to see what I'm up to, and with all that, stay hydrated folks, and wash your hands.